in the Hamas-Israel war, and the IDF has successfully tested its special water pumps against Hamas terror cells in the Gaza Strip. I'm Yair Pinto, reporting to you from Israel. Since the beginning of this operation against Hamas, the IDF has conducted itself strategically and wisely, forcing Hamas to move south, and now the majority of Hamas terrorists are located in the southern part of the Gaza Strip. Hamas is disguising itself within the civilian population of South Gaza. This is a nightmare for any army, and especially for an army that fights by the rules, by the international rules, like the IDF does. Which means that the IDF does not want to harm the civilian population in the Gaza Strip. But Hamas knows that, and that's why it is fighting from within the civilian populated areas. Hamas fighters are not dressed as normal soldiers. They are disguising themselves within the civilian population so that it will be hard for Israel to identify between a civilian and a Hamas terrorist. In the northern part of the Gaza Strip, in the past 24 hours, IDF forces have divided the strip into 3 different areas, separating the terrorists from each other. After the forces will complete their mission, they will focus on the bigger goal of clearing out the northern part of Gaza from Hamas's terror elements. During the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, the IDF was able to mobilize advanced technologies and new weapons into Gaza. Hamas had no idea that Israel had these abilities, and the IDF was able to double the speed of its advances after the ceasefire. During the operation, Hamas fired rockets towards the Israeli city of Beersheba, which is located in Israel's south. A special unit of IDF drones followed the missile launchers to their origin and discovered 2 weapon stockpiles that were hidden in a clinic and in a food store in the Gaza Strip. The IDF was able to neutralize these 2 warehouses that were filled with rockets and other ammunitions. In the area of Shati, at the same time, IDF forces successfully completed a secret mission to pump water from the Mediterranean Sea and flood Hamas terror tunnels. The IDF successfully mobilized 5 huge pumps to the port of Gaza. These pumps are capable of flooding an Olympic swimming pool within 7 minutes. The IDF was able to connect the pipes to the underground Hamas terror tunnels and flood the entire system, forcing Hamas terrorists to rise to the surface. The IDF was shocked to see the amount of terrorists that came out of the ground. It appears as if the structure of Hamas underneath the surface is all connected, making it easier to flood. After rising to the surface, some of the terrorists seek shelter within residential buildings, while others carried out attacks against the troops. In the area of the Indonesian hospital, Hamas terrorists carried out another attack against IDF troops, but this time IDF forces responded with a combination of aerial strikes, special drone attacks, and tank units against the terrorists. The area of the Indonesian hospital is very important for the IDF because it knows that underneath the ground, Hamas has a huge base of operation, the same as it had in the Shifa Medical Center. Hamas is placing its command positions underneath hospitals, next to schools, next to kindergartens, and next to humanitarian buildings. That's how it operates. In the southern part of Gaza, the IDF is fighting Hamas terrorists non-stop. And the problem is that Hamas is using the civilian population as human shields. The southern part of Gaza is filled with Palestinian civilians. And Hamas knows that and is taking advantage of that, making the IDF's life and ability to conduct its operations 10 times harder, because the IDF does not want to to harm the civilian population of the Gaza Strip. In Israel's northern front against Hezbollah, in the past week, the IDF was able to identify and neutralize dozens of Hezbollah's terror structures, such as missile launchers, mortar positions, and other locations that can threaten the security on Israel's northern border. Thank you for standing with the Jewish state of Israel. I would like to conclude by echoing Prime Minister Netanyahu's statement, stating that Hamas attempted to destroy us and the grounds in Gaza are shaking as IDF forces are locating the leadership of Hamas terrorists. Those that carried out the terrible attacks against our people are paying the price. Please help us by sharing this video and sharing the truth of what is happening in Israel so that the IDF can continue its mission until it retrieves our hostages and destroy Hamas. Today it's Israel, but tomorrow it's Europe or the United States. So help us to fight this evil now.